Welcome back to the third and final part of my Arkham Knight videos, where I'll be covering all of the game's DLC. If you're new to my channel and are interested in watching the other two parts, then I'll leave the links at the end of this. Each video is themed, so you can view them in no particular order, so with that said, I've managed to put together some more Easter eggs, references, and any other points of interests that I could find. And if you do enjoy this, then subscribe, that way you can stay up to date on all future videos I put up. Now it's time to enter the Arkhamverse one last time. Starting off with the Season of Infamy DLC, in the interrogation room where the Mad Hatter is, there's a whiteboard with Jervis Tetch's case files that reveals a list of known associates. The Secret Six are a group of villains that recruited Tetch in the hopes of countering Dr. Psycho's mind control abilities. The Secret Society of Supervillains is a large organisation powerful enough to match the Justice League. And the Wonderland Gang is a criminal group themed around the Lewis Carroll stories that former henchman Tweedledum and Tweedledee leads. Using Hatter's own mind control technology on him, he acted as a figurehead for the group. During the hallucinating fight, each of the 3 book pages that the combat takes place on are based on each of the 3 Arkham games, but it's the last page that has something easily missed. If Batman is close enough, Man-Bat will appear in the background. Most of the story takes place during a heavy thunderstorm, but there's a way that the player can change the weather permanently. After completing everything, including most of the DLCs, activate the Nightfall Protocol, then complete the Mr. Freeze story, the rain will be replaced with snow. The prison airship that Killer Croc is being held in is called Iron Heights. In the comics, this maximum security prison is home to many of the Flash's metahuman villains. There's a flooded cell in the area where Croc snatches the warden away that has a name seen by the door. Grodd is a super intelligent gorilla with telepathic abilities, such as reading thoughts and mind control, making him one of the Flash's most dangerous enemies. In the Control Office, there are several names of Rocksteady developers. Some of those can be found on a whiteboard as a list of prison guards. And there are a couple of books on a shelf that show the names of 2 senior environment artists, Sam Grice and James Catterson. As Batman goes deeper into the prison, he'll discover a more sinister motive happening on the airship when the Quorum signs start appearing. The group are actually in charge of the facility, who are involved with secret experiments on the prisoners. Quorum in the comics are a corrupt government organisation that aims to create an army of superhumans. While investigating the League of Assassins, you can find in the hospital lobby a commemorative plaque of Tommy Elliott's parents. The description mentions the death of Tommy's father in a car accident, and his mother being saved by a surgeon when towards the end of her life left the family wealth entirely to the restoration of the hospital. The truth behind the events was that Tommy sabotaged his parents' car in the hopes of inheriting their money, but Thomas Wayne saved his mother, and over the years grew to resent Bruce Wayne and his wealth and eventually became the villain Hush. In the same lobby, there's an LED message showing the name Dr. Ranson. This is the senior environment artist, Mark Ranson. A closer look at the ID tag on this white coat reveals which doctor it belongs to. Bradford Thorne, aka the Crime Doctor, first appeared in Detective Comics in the 1940s, who was a surgeon who turned criminal out of boredom, and is the brother of crime boss Rupert Thorne. There's a wanted poster on the wall of the security office showing a woman named Dr. Linda Fritawa. After losing her medical license from illegal human experimentations, she began to work for Scarecrow and took on the villain name Fright. In the morgue, there's a group of names shown on these frozen cabinets that belong to more Rocksteady developers. There are two visible bodies of people that appeared in Paulie's diner during the prologue, the waitress and the male who informed Officer Owens about the smoker. Nearby is a whiteboard showing the names Ra's and Talia al Ghul. And even Talia's cabinet door is ajar for you to have a glimpse inside that reveals her body has disappeared, maybe hinting that the League of Assassins has her body if not revived her. After completing each of the 4 most wanted DLCs, you'll be able to listen to their tape recordings.
Oh, God damn it.
Now, officer, you mistake me for a snitch.
Where are they, you little son of a bitch?
Protocol must be followed.
Victor, I mean it.
Patient refuses to disclose name.
Patient is about to kick ass if this goes on any longer.
Okay, sorry.
Talia, my daughter, everything is prepared. The wicked of Arkham City travel like rats at its walls. Strange will strike them down at my command.
Onto the Arkham episodes. While playing as the Red Hood at the docks in Predator mode, there's a truck with a Batman image on the side that appears to have been used for target practice. There's a random bit of dialogue said by one of Black Mask's men, confirming the Red Hood has murdered Killer Moth, who's not only a Batman villain, but an enemy of Batgirl, who became Barbara Gordon's first criminal encounter in her comic book debut back in 1967.
Where does this one come from? Was he the one who took down Killer Moth last month?
During the fight, Red Hood quotes to Black Mask a line from the film Reservoir Dogs.
Come on, little doggy, you gonna bark all day or you actually gonna bite?
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? What was that? Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
In the Harley Quinn episode, after a short period of inactivity, Harley will start reciting poetry or sings in mourning of the Joker, while in psychosis mode, you can hear her alter ego, Harleen Quinzel, talking to Harley.
What is that song about clowns? What is that song about giggles? If I could have my way, I'd bring him back and sing all day. I can hear him at night when the lights are low. His giggles and laughs come and go.
Is there any way I can convince you to stop the madness?
Sorry, Harleen. It's the only thing keeping me sane.
He's dead, Holly. Dead. Dead, dead, dead. Dead.
You say dead one more time, and I'm getting a lobotomy. You hear me, Harleen? A lobotomy!
Harley, we've been through tough times before. This sadness, it will pass.
Don't speak to me like you know me. You know nothing about me.
In psychosis mode, there is writing all over the walls and ceilings of the building, and you can even find some unique ones that appear brighter than the others. There are several Joker pictures throughout the police station, and one of them appears to be used for playing darts. In the large office, there are two wanted posters. One shows Poison Ivy, and the other shows Thaddeus Ryostad, who's a vigilante villain in Bloodhaven and an enemy of the hero Nightwing. On one of the desks, there's a book called Altered Egos, written by Jonathan Law. He's a superhero who goes by the name Tarantula, and is a book writer by day. This title is one of his best sellers. On a blackboard in the briefing room, there are some more references to the city of Bloodhaven. Two of these locations are featured more prominently in the Nightwing comics. Brenda's Cafe is owned by Brenda Miller, who inherited the cafe from her father and is a friend of Cassandra Cain, aka Batgirl. And Hogan's Alley is the name of a police bar where Dick Grayson once worked in order to get information on current police cases. While Harley is in the basement in Predator mode, Penguin says something similar to what was said in the movie Batman Returns.
Then think of you, Oswald Cobblepot, filling the void. I'd like to fill her void.
I know how tough the Joker's death has been on you. Left a void needing to be filled, hadn't it? I could help you fill that void.
Wait, what? You serious?
In the Nightwing episode, at the starting point in the attic, there's a Winslow toy shop poster with a cat paw pictured on it. This may be a possible promotion to Catwoman's episode where her story takes place. Penguin's pet shark, Tiny, makes a return appearance from Arkham City, if you move closer to the glass. For those of you who watched part 1 of my Arkham Knight video, may recall an entry I covered within the GCPD about a wanted poster of Sarah York, aka the Marshmallow Thief. Well, in an office on the 3rd floor of the police building is the same wanted poster, only this time it's revealed that she's been caught. On the bottom floor of the GCPD building is an Iron Heights prisoner transfer list, with Killer Croc's human name circled on it, and a list of more colourful criminal names of Rocksteady developers, including Sarah York, who's apparently now docile. In Catwoman's episode, you start off in Winslow's toy shop, which belongs to the Superman villain Winslow Scott, also known as the Toyman. He's a non-superpowered criminal who relies on various toy-themed gadgets to help him in his crimes. The game's executive producer, Ames Kirshen, has his name displayed on the boxes of these toy planes. Hidden away from the main shop floor is a very creepy thing you can discover. By making your way to the back corner of this storage room, you'll find a doll sitting on a chair and staring back at Catwoman with glowing eyes. And on a closer look, it appears to be holding a severed head of a teddy bear while smiling. Once the puzzle is completed and Catwoman has access to the hidden chamber, looking to the left of the room, you can find a giant cat head that was last seen in Arkham City and is based on the ones seen in the movie Batman Returns, which just so happens to have a scene where Catwoman burgles a department store. In the Robin episode, right at the start of the level, there's a cryo capsule on the floor that once contained the body of Nora Freeze. In Two-Face's courthouse, there are busts that represent Harvey Dent's damaged psyche. While one looks human, the other looks monstrous. They refer to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and symbolise the duality of good and evil that exist in all people, and its struggle between both sides. Only Harvey Dent simplifies this by merely deciding from a flip of a coin. On one wall is a glass display with a pistol inside and a newspaper article mentioning the murder of 5 Irish gangsters. This is a reference to the graphic novel The Long Halloween, where the holiday killer used a .22 caliber handgun with the serial number filed off and a baby bottle nipple for a suppressor. Nearby, there's a portrait of Harvey's wife, Gilda Dent, who was the original holiday killer. Gilda murdered on the first 3 holidays, including the Thanksgiving massacre of the Irish gangsters, before Harvey Dent took over. There's another glass display further into the building, showing a pair of dice and some tarot cards. This is a homage to the graphic novel Arkham Asylum, Sirius House on Sirius Earth, where Two-Face is featured in it as a patient. He was being treated for his obsession with duality by replacing his coin with a die, and slowly moving on to a pack of tarot cards to help give him more power of choice. In Batgirl's story, after rescuing the hostages in the Ghost's ship, there's a jump scare moment when a Joker-looking animatronic fish appears. This may be a homage to the Laughing Fish episode from the animated series. The name of this funfair stall is called Dynamic Duo, which refers to the crime-fighting partnership between Batman and Robin. Most of the promotional billboards have been left untouched, with the exception of this one, in which it appears Harley Quinn is making a funny statement. The Seagate amusement park was built and owned by Edward Burke, who either shares the same name or is a reimagined character for the Arkhamverse, but there is a Batman villain called Edward Burke in the comics, who goes by the name Planet Master. Once you have access to Burke's office, you can find a couple of DC city names on some documents pinned to a wall. Metropolis is home to characters like Superman and Lex Luthor. And Coast City is home to Hal Jordan, who's one of the Green Lanterns. On one of the billboards, there's an image of a man with a starfish on his face. This is a reference to Starro the Conqueror, an alien starfish who's big enough of a threat to face the Justice League. It can duplicate smaller versions of itself to attach to the victim's face and mind control them. Starro makes a cameo appearance in the level and is found within a secret room. What makes this encounter even more unsettling than it already is that the closer you are to Starro, the more intense the ambient music is, to convey to the player the extreme danger they are in. In the Batcave during Predator mode, you can use the remote hacking device to activate the T-Rex and frighten away anyone nearby. This dinosaur is taken directly from the comics, as it's one of Batman's most recognizable trophies in his Batcave collection. If you drive the 1989 movie Batmobile, there's something on the car tires you can see. On a closer look, the ID letterings looks like the developer's studio name, Rocksteady. An interesting thing can be seen on the computer screen during the AR challenge in Winslow's toy shop. The original screensaver in the Catwoman episode is replaced to have instead a data file on Venom, which is the fictional super steroid that gives Bane his incredible strength. In the AR challenge map of Wayne Manor, by interacting with the piano, not only will you hear the Arkham series' main theme, the wall nearby will open to reveal a couple of whiteboards full of investigation notes, and there's an image of a cell door with the number 425 seen above it. This is all linked to the Arkham VR storyline that takes place before the events of this game, while the numbers refer to the date of Joker's first comic appearance in Batman issue 1, dated April 25th, 1940. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video and I hope you enjoyed it. Although the poll is still open until the end of the month, it doesn't look like any other game is going to catch up to these two now, so I'll announce the second game at the end of the next video. But the game that many of you wanted me to do next will be Resident Evil Origins Monster Analysis, where I'll be showcasing every single enemy types in all their gory details from RE0 and Remake 1. So if you haven't yet and you want to see more content like this, then subscribe, so that way you can stay up to date on all future videos I put up. And as always, thanks to all of you who have subscribed and are helping to make this channel grow. So until the next video, bye everyone.